We're live. Yo, guys, welcome to another episode of the Hit and Miss podcast. Today, I'm joined with a new face. You got Monster on today. Bro, how you doing?
Good, man. Good. How you lot doing, man?
Good, bro.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Also got Taddy as well. Taddy, how you?
Yo, I'm good, bro. I'm good. How are you? How the man them?
I'm
How
good.
the man them?
I'm good. We're good, man. Yeah, so today we're going to be going through. Obviously, there's a big game coming up, the derby, Chelsea versus Arsenal. But before we get into that, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and make sure you check out Monster's channel as well. We put it in the description. So just check that out. Check out all his content. It's good work. But first, before we start with next week's derby, we'll just talk about United's form recently. Taddy, I know you're a United fan. How you been feeling?
It's can't be too gassed. You can't be too gassed. I can't be too gassed. I see us. I don't know, bro. It's not consistent yet, innit? And until we go like 5 games where I see us getting results, then I'll be happy, innit? Otherwise, it's gonna be a thing where we beat Leeds last week. Next week, I don't even know what I'm second against. Leicester could probably smash us. It's like we just got to make sure we're consistent with it. It depends how our boys head into that game.
Yeah, your team's very inconsistent. That's one of the issues which I have, and I feel like that's one of the issues United fans have with Oli is just the inconsistency. Because
too inconsistent.
That six goals, Rashford didn't even score. I don't think Martial scored as well.
No, he didn't.
Martial got 2 assists. He got 2 assists. Yeah, he got 2 assists. He didn't score.
So you man bag 6 without like your main outlet scoring, which is a good thing to see when as a fan of like any team. If your team scores and your big players aren't even scoring, that means your team's doing well. You also got a game in hand as well.
Yeah.
But what do you feel about the league?
Hopefully it helps.
Because now you guys are third, isn't it?
We're third, yeah. We're like 6, 7 points, couple points off Liverpool, and then second. We're not even. We're same points, I think.
You're 1 point away from second.
So we got a game in hand as well. So second play, hopefully. But Burnley, we got Burnley in that game in hand though. That's the thing. We need to play Burnley for that.
Monster, I want a question for you, yeah. Considering like all pundits that are talking about Chelsea title contenders, obviously as a Chelsea fan myself, I never said Chelsea are title contenders. I was going for third, maybe second. But as a title contender, would you think United are also title contenders now, considering the points they're at and where they are on the board?
Yeah. I mean, because I've said Chelsea are title contenders, so if Chelsea are title contenders, then you have to say United are, because at the time before we went on the 2-game bad run, at the time if United had won their outstanding game against Burnley, they would have been on the same points with us, innit? And obviously now Chelsea have gone on their bad run and United have kept on winning. And I think if they play the outstanding game, they're what? Are they going to be 2 points still behind Liverpool, is it? I think it is still 2 points behind Liverpool. So mathematically speaking, yeah, they are title contenders. Do you know what I mean? If you're in or within, the top of the table, then you are a title contender, whether you say it or not. Do you know what I mean? Men lie, women lie. The numbers don't lie. Do you know what I mean? And the numbers are saying they are title contenders, isn't it? So, yeah.
Do you still consider Chelsea as title contenders? Or do you think everything's changed now? Because December's the sticky period where everything just goes up and down, and that's where you really see who's actually challenging.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Chelsea are what? Was 6 points behind Liverpool, right?
Yep.
6 points. 6 points behind the top. That still says you are still you're still a challenger. Do you know what I mean? Because if Liverpool go on a bad run, 2 draws or 2 losses, which is it will happen at some point in the season.
Yeah.
If they go on a run of 2 losses, all of a sudden, automatically, everyone else is back in the race. Do you know what I mean? And they will drop due to goal difference and things like that. But everyone all of a sudden is there or thereabouts. So it's so tight at the moment. The season's still fresh. We still got over 20 games left. So I'm not too panicked about the situation right now. I'm not too panicked.
Taddy, so 6-1, yeah? Going on for your next few games, do you reckon your form will still continue, you think there'll be issues now?
I think. Oh, I don't know. Hopefully it continues, innit? Hopefully it continues. It's do you have Leicester away or home? If it's away against Leicester, I think our form will continue. But if it's at home, I reckon it'll be more of a struggle. We'll probably get a draw out of it. A high scoring game. It'll be a high scoring game against Leicester. But hopefully we keep the form up though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Are you still Ole in or you Ole out?
Bro, I'm still Ole out. I can't lie.
What, regardless of what's happening?
Yeah, regardless of what it's doing, I feel like we want Champions League football in it. All right, cool. Look what he's doing. He's got like our team, they play. But I feel like we need like an elite manager to take us far in the Champions League. That, to be honest, I want to be playing Champions League and competing for the title in it. I don't want to be dropping group stages early on. Like, bro, that just means we're not a Champions League team like that. We're just a team that was in. We're just in and out of it. Yeah.
That's one of the issues. Europa League was a big blow to United. I feel that game. I don't understand United, man.
Bro, but I hope we get silverware this season, and at least to end like on a high. If Solskjaer leaves, he leaves on a high with silverware at least in his cabinet.
You ain't.
What's that Europa League though?
I don't know. At least some bit of silverware.
I don't think Man United are getting rid of Ollie that simply, man. I think, to me, I say Ollie's a cockroach. When you think he's done, he's out, the man just finds a way to claw his way back. Do you know what I mean? How are you going to get rid of him? Like, listen, one thing people don't understand is it's like Arsenal, Man United, their owners see it as, they see the clubs as businesses, innit? Now, as a business, is the club thriving? Yes, because it's bringing in hundreds of millions. They're not taking no losses. They're actually making profits, isn't it? And all they really need is maybe Man United to just be in a Champions League. With Man United, they just need them to be in a Champions League. They're good enough. They don't care if they win it or not. They don't care if they win the Premier League or not. At the moment, is Ollie doing that? He's getting you lot Champions League football. You lot were in the Champions League this season, yes, which is almost £100 million in revenue. And also, what do you call it? This season, you're most probably going back to the Champions League again. You probably get top 4 as it looks. So, is he really doing anything wrong at the moment, according to what the owners want? He's not. So I don't think they're going to get rid of him. I don't think so.
I don't think so as well.
Yeah, I feel like the issue is fans as owners, like perspective of the situation.
Yeah, because people don't see it as. People always say, people saying, "Oh yeah, they should sell and blah blah." If I own a business bringing me hundreds of millions of pounds, why the fuck am I gonna sell it?
That's the last thing I'm planning to do. If I'm making profit, it's all about me. Do you get what I'm saying? But that's also the issue. Like, that's why some people always look at like Chelsea as a club, because as our owners, they always go, "Yeah, he spends a lot," but that's him showing that he cares about the club. With other owners, such as the Arsenals and Uniteds, it's just about them. It's all about ownership and just them. So,
but the thing is, the difference between
it's all business related. So when you're go on.
The difference between Chelsea, Man United, and Arsenal is that you see Chelsea's owner number one. He looks at it as kind of it's like a toy. Do you know what I mean? He loves his toy. And he doesn't mind pumping things to make it look better. It's like, the girls had the Barbie dolls, isn't it? And they will buy other things, accessories and things like that to make it look more pretty. So that's, in a way, Chelsea's the Barbie doll. And obviously the players he's bringing in are accessories, isn't it? But then at the same time, Chelsea as a business model, they've actually transformed their business model. So they actually sell players. They have a loan system which brings in like 100 to 120 million every season for them as well. So they're actually thriving as a business model as well. Other clubs are actually starting to do it as well. But we are a business model as well, isn't it? And that's the difference between Chelsea and many other clubs.
Yeah, that's the thing, like, especially with our academy and stuff as well. Like, we want one of the best in the world. For that is for our owner actually looked at it when he came in 03, whatever. And when it came to about 07, 08, you really saw that there was a structure in our academy setup. And what that's happened is over the years, which we're now seeing over the past 5-6 years, I think we won the Youth Cup about 4 times in like 5 years. You can see that structure which was started in '08 whatever has now prolonged all the way onto this time, which is right now. So you can really see like there's a transformation in our setup and our academy. But yeah, let's go on to the Arsenal Chelsea, the big derby coming up. Is it on Saturday 5:30? It's at the Emirates.
Big game.
Monster, what's your thoughts on that? Big game.
It's we have to win. If we don't win, we can't beat Arsenal. 15th place Arsenal. Lampard has some questions to answers because
Big questions.
West Ham's the first top 10 team we've beat. We've actually struggled with top 10 teams. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I said this before on someone else's channel. I'm not a fan of legends returning to clubs, especially when you go out on a high note. When Drogba came back in 2015 or whatever, when Mourinho brought him back.
14, 15.
I didn't like that. Because you can't leave on such a high note, yeah?
You know, like
with the way he left, and then you come back, and if it goes wrong, people are going to try to take away from your legend status, innit? The same way Man United fans nowadays are coming out to say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's not a legend when clearly he is.
He is a legend.
He's got the biggest moment in Man United's history, that, winning goal against Bayern Munich. So I wasn't a fan when Lampard was chosen as a manager because I don't want it to taint his legacy. But also, not just that, Lampard has also shown at times he's tactically inept. That he's gotten lineups wrongs. He would say he chooses players based on merit. Meanwhile, Hudson-Odoi can't get minutes. Tomori can't get minutes. It just doesn't make sense because you told us you play players based on merit. So sometimes he really just boggles me at times. But obviously, I'm going to back him because he's our manager. But against Arteta, this is a must-win game because if they beat us, even if they draw with us, it's embarrassing. It's because they are like rock bottom at the moment. They're rock. This is the worst I've ever seen Arsenal in my lifetime.
Yeah.
We have to condemn them and put them to the sword. Just finish them off. Do you know what I mean? We've got to do it. There's no excuses. Do you know what I mean? There's no excuses in it. So that's all
See, but this is the thing about Chelsea, man. Like sometimes I look at Chelsea, it's such a Chelsea thing to lose though. Like when the team is out there, we actually should beat them. There's been so many times I've seen Chelsea just slip up. I think it was West Ham last season during lockdown. We could have secured top 4 or something like that. We let it slip. There was games where I've just seen like we're in the right position just to win. We've got the lineup right, we've got everything right, but then something just happens, individual mistakes. I hear Lampard say that every single time it's individual errors. When you actually look at it objectively, you always see it's individuals, but overall you have to blame it as a team because we could have set up. Pressure on the players in terms of what?
Yeah, it's because it's a young squad, isn't it? And like they're being asked by the. Yeah, because remember, your squad is very young, and some of the players like Werner as well. He's not going to adapt very quickly. He's finding it hard in the Premier a little bit. He's saying within the next couple months, I reckon he'll be in his stride. You get it?
It's the thing with Werner is that
there's a lot of factors. Yeah, go on.
The thing with Werner is that I'm not too. You see me, I'm not too worried about like Werner and Havertz. Havertz being that he's a young player, so he's got many years to go. And even with Werner, like. There's times where he will have a stinker whereby the man will miss blinders, but then he will pull out some superhuman assists. Do you know what I mean? And he did it in the last game against West Ham. And when you're looking at his goal contributions, for someone who everyone's seeming to call a flop, the man is top 5 in the Premier League in goals and assists.
Yeah, 100%.
So to me, if you're not scoring and you can contribute otherwise, like bringing assists and things like that, then to me you're doing well. Like Firmino was doing it when he weren't scoring, people were getting at him, but the man was still pulling out assists. So it's not always just about scoring. It's about if you can do other things if you're not scoring as well, then that's a good thing. So I give him time in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. With Werner, I'll give Werner a lot of time because I'm seeing him try. Like that's one thing which
because you can see it.
Unless nothing's going well, if you can see him try it, he's dropping in deep, trying to get the ball, trying to do something. If you see that's what I always think. Okay, Werner, he's also got the numbers. He's got some numbers as well, which is good enough. But then when I'm looking at Havertz is the only place where I know his potential. Like, we all look at his potential. We know what he's got. Obviously, in his first, I don't know, 10, 15 games, you've seen like his passing. You haven't seen something exceptional which he's done, but you know what potential he has. So once it clicks, he's also had COVID and all of that. But once it clicks, you can't argue. Like, Chelsea do look like a force in the season, but you just have to let it all click. And also, obviously, we also got blighted by injuries as well. We had Ziyech out, we've had Pulisic out, we've had all sorts of players out. I think we now got Chilwell and James out. But Monster, how do you think we will set up for the game against Arsenal?
We just got because I already know how Arsenal are going to set up. They're going to set up low block, defensive. They might try pick us on a counter attack, but they don't really have the players for that. Like, if we're being honest, like that's why they're not scoring goals. Aubameyang, is he confirmed out?
Yeah,
he probably is
out for 10 days. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Aubameyang's out. I'm not sure about Martinelli,
Injured
but
as
it's
well.
a thing. We can afford to go at them and throw the kitchen sink at them. Do you know what I mean? We can actually afford to. So we just need to go out there and just do what we do. Like, if Lampard, because Lampard, the problem I have with Lampard is that against the bigger teams, you saw it against Man United, you saw it against even Liverpool, you saw it against
goes defensive.
certain
Tottenham
teams.
as well.
Yeah, Tottenham, he will go defensive all of a sudden, and sometimes you just don't need to. Sometimes you need to do what you're doing, innit, and stop worrying about the team, innit.
Just continue.
Just play your football, man. Yeah.
Right,
so
that's one of the things. But how do you think we'll set up with? I think Reece James might be out, and I don't know about Chilwell. Well, the news hasn't came out yet. Do you feel like both of them will be out for the game?
Yeah, I think
maybe James might come back.
I just saw a Lampard, not Lampard. I think it was Matt Law. He said it's likely. It's not 100% confirmed yet, but it's likely they'll both be out for this game. I even if there was a sniff of them being back, I would say just keep them out of this game, man. Just keep them out. Just so they don't pick up anything. Just let.
That's the thing. But then we'll have to set up with Emerson left back, and it will probably Aspilicueta right back. Do you feel like that will change anything in terms of our system, or do you think we're still going to be going the same?
It will change a bit because obviously Aspie's not Reece James, Emerson's not Chilwell, so it will change a little, but it's good enough to still beat Arsenal. You saw them against West Ham.
Yeah,
it's good enough to beat them. It's definitely good enough to beat Arsenal.
Yeah, that's the thing. Chelsea versus Arsenal. What we always see, there's always entertainment in that game. We could go out and win by a big scoreline, or it could be a 1-0 thing. Hopefully, both managers decide to play in an attacking way. Arteta's probably not going to, considering the form he's got. But yeah, let's touch upon Arsenal though. Arsenal's form at the moment is dreadful. I think they've won one game in the last 12 or something.
Yeah,
one game and about 5 draws. Bro, they're sitting in 15th with I think 8 losses.
Poor.
8 losses, and it's December. It's nearly the end of December.
I feel like
what do you guys think Arsenal do to change?
A lot of their change.
Yeah, what do you feel like Arsenal have to do to change their formation and everything? I feel like, just to come back.
That's the thing. How do they? I don't know how they're gonna have to pick up the form from where they are in it. Because remember, you're now looking at what's it called? It starts, bro. This problem is not within the squad. It's in deep within the club, in it, and it's only now showing on the pitch how badly the club's run. Like a lot of things, especially like towards the end of last season, in it, because they ended the FA Cup on a high. It took away the distraction of what's actually happening behind the scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Arsenal, the FA Cup really did.
It covered a lot of it was like a plaster for them. It was like a plaster for them. It was like it was just nothing for that long. But now look, it's like they forget they won the FA Cup because now actually the problems are coming out. But I feel like it covered. It was I don't know. It's a deep within root. Like the problem is within start to bottom. Like whatever, bro. It's a mess of a club.
They sold everyone a dream, man. The thing is, I was not happy when they beat us in the FA Cup. But then obviously I'm on the football terrace. I'm one of the panel members there. I remember Terry saying, "Don't worry about it. This is you got to let them get excited now, because when it comes to this," he said, watch come December, it's gonna all come crashing down, innit? And since when they beat us on that day, I congratulated them and didn't say nothing. And I've been just waiting for this day to come, innit?
You waiting.
And look at them. Like, obviously, like,
look at them now.
Obviously,
Man.
even whether we beat them or not, hopefully we do. They are right now. What they're going through is tragic. Like it's just mad. Like it's. I didn't think it would be this bad. I thought maybe another 7th, 8th place. I thought maybe that would be the thing. I didn't think it would be 15th. If I'm
a lot of
honest.
mistakes. I think their mistakes are now starting to show. Yeah, bro. A lot of mistakes starting to show.
A lot of mistakes.
Oh,
That's the thing. Like I was even telling Arsenal fans as well. Like, bro, I think it was before the FA Cup. Like, I think they played City, they played Liverpool. I think they played Leicester in that time or something like that. Averaging at like 30% possession. I was just thinking, like, actually, like this football. I was telling Arsenal fans as well before the season started. I was saying, I remember Taddy as well. I told you last week. We have a couple man in the group chat, yeah, Arsenal fans. And we're telling them like, next season you're actually gonna hate the football you're playing because it's so negative, and then one individual error and everything's just gone. All your tactics has gone out the window. So we're just telling them, because they obviously were saying Arteta's the better coach than Lampard and Ole.
Yeah.
So at the time, obviously we could understand what they're trying to say, but we were also trying to say like, look, if you're actually watching your football objectively, take off your bias from being an Arsenal fan, look at it objectively. You guys are actually everything's actually going to crash. Just give it a couple months, everything will crash. And we were telling them that. Yeah, these man, they're 15th, 8 games lost, 2 games drew, and I think it's 4 games they've won. Haven't won since the 1st of November. Everything's going wrong for them. Arsenal fans, you always see them on Twitter. They're struggling. Yeah. Arsenal fans on Twitter, they're struggling.
They don't even want to argue anymore. Some of them don't even argue anymore. It's actually sad.
I don't even want to mock them no more, bro. I'm there trying to send voice notes to the man. I'm just like, you know what, yeah? Let me just allow it because it actually looks peak. There was a man in the group chat yesterday, yeah? In a group chat which I'm in yesterday, he sent a voice note. He was like, bro, what do we actually do now? Like, we're 15th. I don't even want to watch Arsenal no more, but we're in lockdown. Like, and we actually have to watch them. I just felt bad for them. But that's what you go through as a fan. One of the issues of being a fan. But yeah, Taddy, one last question regarding United, Leicester, 12:30 at King Power Stadium. What's your score prediction for that game?
2-1, 3-1. But United 2-1. However, if Leicester catch us within the first 15 minutes of the game, if our players are not ready for that, it could be a beating. Because I've seen how in form Maddison has been, and if he goes in behind that back line and passes it through Vardy, we're finished. We're actually finished. I'm scared, bro. I'm actually scared of Leicester right now. Like their form, I don't know what it is with their form, like, and with how we start our game, sometimes we start off lethargic. We get a team just counter us.
Yeah.
And with Leicester, we cannot be playing that type of game with them. Because they beat City 5-2 this season.
Leeds was one of the only games I actually saw. Yeah, they did. They beat City 5-2. But Leeds, I think, is the only game which I saw United start on the front foot. I feel like the other games I've always seen United, first 20 minutes, you look sluggish. And then you come out and someone, usually Bruno, does a bit of brilliance. And then now you start seeing the individual players going through.
Yeah, literally, that's all it is. Because with that Leeds game, Leeds wants to play. They want to be like attacking from the beginning. Even when they were losing, they carried on. Like I was surprised. Like, oh, bro, you're not going to change your tactics. Don carried on, just pushing his players forward, and that's how they were just getting caught. They were just getting caught on counter attack every time.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
it could be. I'm with a draw. What are you saying?
Leeds were just brave, super brave, too brave, and
Too
that's the
brave,
thing about That's the thing about Marcel Bielsa. He plays one tactic, and it's that or die. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And it's gonna cost him this season. You know,
Mm.
once all the teams, I don't know why they don't just figure out a way to play Leeds. It's easy to play against Leeds if you ask me, because they don't have nothing else. They just have a plan A and that's it.
Plan A, yeah.
Mm.
That's the
Hell,
thing with Leeds. But even when they played Chelsea, they did play. I did like the football they play. I like the football, the structure which Leeds have. But the only thing is obviously, yeah, one change of tactics and everything's gone out the window for them. So they just stick with it. But yeah, what about the Chelsea Arsenal match? What's your guys' score predictions?
I want Chelsea 3-1. I want a Chelsea 3-1 or 3-0 whitewash.
I'm gonna go with 2-0. I'll go with 2-0. Because the only reason why I think it's not gonna be that easy is, although I think we should still be beating them, I think Arsenal are gonna be so defensive, very defensive. So I'll go with 2-0.
Is there no injured for the Arsenal game?
Were you not thinking
Aubameyang?
of sorry, what?
I think
Aubameyang,
Aubameyang's
yeah, I
out.
think it's just Aubameyang and Martinelli.
Yeah.
I think
and
Partey?
Gabriel's red card.
Partey should still be out. No, Gabriel's not. He's not out. He played yesterday. In fact, it wasn't a direct red. It was a 2 yellow cards. So it was a one match
second
ban,
yellow.
One match,
which is already served already. That's why he played yesterday. So I
you guys
think
not scared
Zach
of
is probably.
Monster, you're not scared of a little Willian goal? A little return.
I got so much respect for Willian. I actually love Willian. I'm not one of those Chelsea players that slander Willian. I think Willian is an even more of a legend because he's, being an agent at Arsenal. That's why I call him. He's a legend. Do you know what I mean?
I love him, man.
He's bringing in Chelsea
Louise,
Deadwood, man.
Do you know what I mean? He's yeah. So he's keeping the banter up for us.
Love it,
so I love the kid. You know what I mean? I got nothing negative to say about him.
I must have seen a stat the other day.
He's had
one shot for Arsenal in about how many games? 13, 14.
I think it was 11 games. 11, 12, 13
11 games.
Yeah.
Like that is poor.
Yeah, Arsenal fans now know how we feel. The man used to, I remember Eden Hazard and different players would be doing things, and Willian would be the one to slow it down. Like always slowing the game down. It was so frustrating.
Every single time. Counter attacks.
It was
always said that he's a right mid playing right wing. Like, it was so frustrating.
Yeah.
Even when we were trying to explain it to Arsenal fans, saying, this is Willian right now. We understand what he's done in the past years, yeah. But this is actually Willian right now. He'll the first man when it comes to a corner. You won't take on the man no more. But he'll give you like that ball possession type of thing, ball retention, everything you want. But he's digressing. But they never wanted to listen. They always said that we were slandering Willian, we weren't respecting him.
He's
we were just looking at
winner.
it as it is. And now, that's what P was saying last time. But yeah, that's what we were trying to explain to them. But they always argue that point for some reason. But now they're seeing the true light. I can't find one Arsenal fan that likes Willian in their club, and I'm loving it. But I'm loving it.
We told them.
We told them they don't want to listen. We told them
they never want to listen. They never want to listen.
All right, cool. And just before we finish off, we'll just go through a last game. Wolves versus Spurs. What's your guys' thoughts on this monster?
I'm thinking Spurs should win that game, but I don't even know with Spurs. They're a bit of a weird one. Like, obviously they got Mourinho. Mourinho's like my favorite coach of all time, innit? I love the guy because he brought success to Chelsea. Like, I grew up, knowing Chelsea. When I was a kid, Chelsea were like a Europa League type team. Do you know what I mean? We weren't getting in the top four. We were getting spanked by Arsenal and all them lot. When he came in, he brought success. He showed what it was to be a winner, innit? And I love him. But with them, they're a bit weird because obviously, like the Liverpool game, we all know, we watched the game, they should have beat Liverpool. So, I mean, Harry Kane takes his chance, Son takes his chance,
Bergwijn as well,
which they normally do. Bergwijn, sorry, that's his son. Bergwijn takes his chance, and it's game over. They beat Liverpool, the title, the winner, the champions, and all that. And they played the game almost perfectly until obviously that last minute goal by Firmino, innit? But then they go against Leicester and they play the
just
same game.
capitulate. Like,
Yeah, and it's just like, what are you doing? So it's a bit weird, isn't it? So they're very unpredictable in that sense, isn't it? But I think they should still be. I think they should be able to beat Wolves.
beat Wolves.
I think they should be able to beat Wolves.
I do feel like Jose has a lot of respect for Wolves because I've been seeing
Yeah,
it
he
in some
does.
of his interviews, his post-match interviews as well. He always talks about Podence, Neto, Neves, the way they play. But Wolves are just Wolves are a sticky one because even when they played against Chelsea, the way they counted at the end, it was just like, okay, cool. Now you need to mark Neto, you need to mark Podence, you need to mark their striker. I think Jimenez is out. That's the only issue they have. They don't have a striker of that sort. But they brought in that Fabio Silva kid. I think he scored last game, so he's an issue as well. But yeah, there's just a lot to mark when it comes to Wolves. Adama Traore. You also got Semedo bombing it down on the right wing back. So yeah, that's one of the issues which I feel like Jose will have to try and set up and face. But I'm not too sure
if
if Wolves
take
could.
their chances, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Taking their chances. I don't think Wolves could. I'm not too sure. Five at the back, it might be easier to handle Son and Kane. But the only issue is Kane can bring up anything from anywhere. Son, same. They could just create a chance out of nothing. That's one of the issues.
Exactly.
Which they have. I'm saying it's a 2-1 Spurs.
2-1 Spurs.
I'm going with a 2-1 Spurs. Yeah.
I'm thinking it's 1-1. I feel like Spurs are gonna have a repeat. They're gonna have a repeat of their last two games. If they're not careful, Wolves, because remember, Wolves will take you to them last minutes, them dying moments. They want to see how far your team can go. And if Spurs are not careful with their defense as well, because it's slow. And remember, you have players like Neto and Podence taking that advantage. I think it's gonna be a 1-1 kind of game, like a draw.
Hey.
Yeah.
It could go that way, man. Those teams, those two teams are tight to play against.
Yeah, very.
Oh yeah, one last thing before we forget. 7-0. Liverpool won 7-0. Let's not forget that. That's one thing that really slipped my mind. 7-0 Liverpool, despite all their injuries, despite all their form. 7-0. What's your thoughts on that?
I just don't know. They just keep.
It was one of those ones, man. I just woke up and I saw 7-0. I was like, what?
I was actually watching it.
Palace have been playing well this season slightly as well.
I was watching it. I was watching it, and who was it that Mane scored? It wasn't Mane. I can't remember if it was the second or third. But as soon as he scored, I just turned that shit off. Like,
the second,
yeah,
the skill behind it. It was the skill behind it. Like within that short amount of space, he made something.
It wasn't just that. It was how the Crystal Palace defense. For some reason, they just went and opened up the middle, just there.
Yeah,
just split it open. Mane just had a clear shot at goal. I was just thinking, it's like these lot just wanted them to win. Like it was embarrassing to watch. I was like, I'm out watching this shit.
The first 20 minutes of that game, Palace weren't bad in it. They did work Alisson, but I feel like if they had scored within the first couple minutes, the game could have changed a bit. But because it's Palace in it, like they don't have that quality of a team, they were bound to get ripped apart after them not taking a chance. This is Liverpool. You're playing against Salah, Mane. You've got to be on your A game regardless who you're playing in it. I feel like they didn't do enough there.
But they were playing Chiarte in centre back. Like I just couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's been playing all right this season, but like you're playing a CDM in centre back. I just couldn't.
Yeah,
but they're doing the same thing. They're playing centre back.
But true, but Fabinho's played centre back. Like he's actually played there, and there's difference in quality as well. But then they have actual centre back on their bench. But I get it. Like it's Scott Dan and all of them lot. Obviously. Yeah. Maybe you'd be better up playing Chiarte and centre back against Liverpool's attack, but that's just like the way in which they started. And obviously,
you want to be physical.
That Curtis Jones, he came off the bench. I think he's a baller, you know.
There's something in him. I need to watch him a bit more. I can't lie. I need to watch him. I barely watched him. I'm hearing he's make a name for himself still.
He's a baller.
He's
There's a lot.
He's making
There's
a
a
name.
lot of
Like I wanted to
England,
hate him, but
there's a lot of young England talent coming through, but it's just
Yeah.
how they're being used, isn't it? But Klopp obviously knows what he's doing. So Curtis Jones is a baller. He's going to be something soon. He's an actual baller.
yeah, he's cold. I give it to him, and obviously Salah banging on form as he always does. I think he's top goal scorer now, isn't he?
Isn't it? He's been hot and cold.
Slightly, not in terms of goals. I think he scored in his last 5. I think, if I'm right in saying, I'm not too sure. But in terms of like performances, yeah, he's been a bit touch and go. But yeah, some reason he's banging in form, in my opinion. But 7-0, kept the clean sheet despite all the injuries. Van Dijk out. I think the midfield is also a bit shaky.
Captain
But
got the goal.
they're managing to do it, and that's one of the things. Like if they win the league after all of this happening, we can't really say anything but to respect everything they've done in the past 3-4 years highly, because the way they've gone about it. Even when Henderson was injured last season, they still managed to just regain all their form or something like that. They just managed to restructure everything, but they still managed to keep it in place. Even the game they played when they won 7-0, Salah was on the bench. He came off the bench. I think he scored 2, assisted 1. Do you know what I'm saying? And all their front 3 scored. And they had Jota injured. They had Thiago injured. Hey, I've got nothing but respect for Liverpool. I'm not gonna lie. I hate how they're winning it so easily, winning the league so easily. I want more of a fight from other teams, but yeah, nothing but respect. But yeah, that'll be the end of the episode. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you, Monster, for jumping on.
No worries, man.
Love, bro.
Big ups to
Love,
you, man.
bro. Love for you, Taddy, also jumping on. Love. And yeah, just before you guys finish, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Till next time as well. Monsters channel will be in the description, so make sure you go check that out. As I said before. But yeah, thank you lot for coming on. Thank you all the fans and followers for watching. But yeah, thank you.